ready for me?
Yeah. I think I'm done until about 7 tonight.
Are you?
Hopefully it'll cool off. What time is it, Andy? This is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk to you for 3 hours if I can sit here the whole time. No, I'm just kidding.
Have you been here since the beginning? Or when did you come in?
Yeah, since the beginning that she actually had the boxes, and she had a few boxes. I think then they did a trial run, you know. So I wasn't here for that. I was here the first year that she actually had all the boxes filled and people could come. And
so people were probably coming, they didn't know how to plant or how to take care of them.
Well, they were just starting out. And
but that's
she was
the beginning.
building the boxes. Yeah, that was a great beginning.
I've never gardened. I grew up in the military, so we didn't do gardens because you can't take them with you.
That's a good point.
And so I've never had the opportunity to really do a garden and focus on it.
Wow.
I've lied about it all my life and told people, yeah, I've done a little here and a little there, like a seed in a jar or whatever. But,
a seed in a jar. Right?
Yes. But other than that, I really hadn't done a garden. And I took a class at Kaiser's over here that Deborah was into, and they mentioned the garden, and I had told Julie that I would like one, but really didn't know what I was going to do with it until Deborah volunteered to say, I'll help you.
Well, Linda was saying that she always wanted to garden, and I said, well, what about the community garden? And Linda said, well, I have a box reserved. I says, well, what are you waiting for?
I didn't really think I knew anything, you know. I just did it. I just did it out of desperation. And learned as I went.
Well, but that's very valuable though. And a lot of people.
So I learned a lot. And then the soil is really nice also. They've done a lot of putting good soil together and mulch and everything to make it so that it's really going to do something. If you're going to come and garden, it might as well work. Otherwise, why do it? Right?
Yeah, I've been surprised. Our box over there at that corn, that's
Isn't
got
it beautiful?
to be
Yeah, I know, it's
up.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
beautiful.
I was a little surprised that corn would do that in that box. But in ours, you see, we have definitely tomatoes out there. I just put a line of carrots in, and it's been a long time since I've ever done a garden. And I just put carrots in, I think the depth I needed, and it grew.
You're seeing here?
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah,
good.
I got the carrots, the corn. Oh, lettuce too came out big. Just from a little seed. It's amazing. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Right?
it's fun. It's really fun. Yeah. And I started with saying, oh, when we bought the house, the guy had a fence around this area. I guess it's supposed to be a garden. Okay. All right. So we built a couple of grow boxes and started gardening in there. And then as the grow box, then we go, I looked around and I go, well, there's a whole lot more space. So we got some friends together, and then we all worked together in our original 12 boxes. And it's hilarious how much produce we got that very first year. It like would have fit on this table.
Oh, is that right? That bad?
Yeah, it was really pathetic.
Because some people are aware that, oh, I need to do a garden. Well, yeah, I know seeds grow, so we'll get there when that happens. But if the time comes when it's urgent, and you're doing that first year and you get that?
Yeah, so that was our first year. And then I started actually really thinking seriously about, well, what did we do wrong? What could we do in the future? So the next year we put in, so we had 12 grow boxes. We put in these grow boxes here because I looked and I go, we have space. And if we had a lot of people put with our heads together, maybe things would work. And then if people had their own box, I realized that it was an incorrect principle that we were basing it on, which was that all for one and one for all.
Oh, really?
That idea, because then one person ends up doing it all, or somebody does none, or then they're embarrassed because then they didn't come and help. And so I decided that we needed to do something that was more had more ownership in it. So we built a whole lot more boxes, all of them down the middle. So this came about after I realized that there was this need and that people were happy about it. In a little bit of research that I've done, a community garden is 30% dirt and 70% community. And so I realized with the quick filling up of the amount of space that I had, that it was needful that people get together. For the first year, we had half of a deer fence, like on the south side and the east side, because that was as far as the guy got in putting up a deer fence.
Oh, is that right?
And so we kept out half of the deer, and so we only lost 100% of our food.
Wait a minute.
I
So
know.
I gotta do the math on that one.
Add that up. And the thing is with deer is that they're not polite. They just take one bite out of each squash.
Oh no.
Chink. You know, if they were polite, we'd share and say, here, you can have this on this table. But they don't do it that way.
How long's it been now? It's been 3 years?
It's been 3 or 4 years, yeah.
Okay. Have you learned how to garden?
No, I don't have time.
But haven't you learned about herbs?
No, because I already have somebody who knows about herbs.
Ah.
So I have somebody who knows about herbs. I have people who know how to answer other people's questions. I hear a little bit here and there.
Different kinds of thyme.
And what do you use thyme for?
Flavoring like meats or turkey.
Okay.
Or you can use it, it's a herbal thing too for healing. There's healing benefits in it as well.
Okay.
And then rosemary here, same thing. You use as a flavoring in your foods. All of these mainly are. And then the different basils, you can see there's a different one in here. There's Italian and sweet and regular basils and chocolate basil. And this is comfrey. Here, huge. The leaves that you'd want to use are usually the tender, soft.
Oh, and comfrey is the one
That's
that
the
you
comfrey.
said you would make a poultice out of and wrap around a
Yes.
sprained ankle or
Yes, or
open
any injury.
sore. Yeah, okay.
I am not kidding. I could not walk. I was crawling around on my knees because I'd hurt my
Oh,
foot
wow.
so bad. And I could not put any weight on it. Overnight, wrapping it with comfrey poultice. But I mashed it up, added a little bit of water, and made a, nice wet mash of comfrey and put it on, and then wrapped it with saran wrap, of all things, to keep it from leaking. I put an old sock that I didn't care about that I could throw away. By the next morning, I was able to walk on that foot. I was still careful, I was still gentle on it, because I knew, I had injured it pretty bad, but they used that coming across the plains to heal wounds when they'd have broken bones and stuff like that.
So I'm not actually gardening yet.
Well, but still, I think
But
that's,
I'm hoping to.
that's commendable in the sense that you don't want to, micromanage or, micromanage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to have credit for doing all these things. I don't think you care for credit, do you?
If I wanted credit, I would do something. I don't know what I'd do, but not that.
So anyway, but I would say that delegating to others or allowing others is to teach others and help out and trust.
It's been different since people have their own space. They have their own box. They take care of their box. If they were not to come and weed, or come and water, or come and plant, we have made it clear that nobody else will do it. If you would like a box and you would like your stuff to grow, then come and do it. I think it's an ability, or it's a way to help people feel ownership and to feel connected and to realize that their stewardship is their box.
My two biggest takeaways as we've gardened here is the commitment, the energy that people have, a willingness to share. Most people take it really seriously. There's a couple that don't. Mm-hmm. And, Julie would say, come on back next year. I might have a different view. Yeah. I think that there is a responsibility. If you want a box and you take it, then I think you need to spend the time and effort to make it successful.
I have one family who was a family, like with children, and they wanted their kids to learn how to garden and learn how to work.
Yeah, that's
So that's
really growing up a child right there.
it really is to get them in the dirt. Yep.
The child is the seed in that case. Mm-hmm. So do you ever get offended by anybody who just doesn't pay attention to their box?
Some people do. I don't, because it is their box. And so if I were to get offended at how they ran their box, then everybody could get offended at how everybody else boxes and how everybody else grows food. We have one gardener that she gets out there and she measures. When she plants her plant, she measures with a ruler where the next plant
right?
goes. Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
And then gets little scissors and cuts off the little thing and the little wrong leaves. And she just, I mean, her garden is immaculate. And we have another gardener who says she brought a whole big pile of seeds. And she says, I'm not sure what all these are, but I know I collected them because I wanted them. Oh, no. So she...
Wait. She just all together. They weren't even in packets?
Oh, yeah. It was so funny. She just came and she goes, well, I'll put some of these here and some of those over there. And then I'll put some more right here. I says, well, didn't you already put something there? I know, but they just will grow together. And they'll feel good.
Hey, look how many bell peppers we've harvested. This is insane.
You're on camera.
Oh, no, wait, no. This can't go down in history, no way.
So what do we got here? Let me see on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
So these are bell peppers today.
Yeah.
Oh, look at those. Those look genuine.
Don't they?
Yeah.
And this is only one bag for only one harvest. We've had several.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, just over
Are
there in the
are
box,
they pretty? Really, you should be taking photo of or video of them on the vine.
Watermelons and broccoli. The broccoli was huge. She just
Oh, was it?
She took it though, but I've never seen the broccoli get so big.
Oh, is that right?
It was like this big.
That big?
Multiple heads of it.
How big?
Like this.
Okay. You got your
And
your
there
hand
was-
measurement going on there.
And there were on every plant. I've
okay,
never
so
seen the broccoli do so well.
I see where you cut it off right there. You cut that big one off there.
I know for me, every year has been a learning experience in the garden.
Oh, is that
'cause
right?
I do it differently every year and I learn something new.
I mean, it's kind of cool because I haven't been here in a while, so it's like last time I went, everything's really small and kind of not looking so great, but then it just kind of explodes
Yeah,
into life, which is pretty cool.
like that. Looks like a
It is
jungle out there, doesn't it?
amazing. It's amazing how it transforms and just God is so generous.
Yeah.
You know, like we plant one little seed and there are so many seeds in one plant. We plant one little seed and then God gives us a multitude of harvest from it. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Any food that's just left on the vine, it's like, no, I can't do it. That's one reason why I've dehydrated so much, because I can put a load of stuff in the dehydrator and let it dehydrate, and it brings it down to
Oh, such
compact,
a
small
Yeah.
space that I don't have to have a lot of space to store it. Carrot leaves as well, because it's nutritious. I can put it in green drinks and get that nutrition. Use the carrots for whatever you want to use carrots for, but not waste the leaves.
I had wondered about that when I was actually harvesting my own carrots this other day. Well, actually, I picked up some today
Yeah,
over there.
yeah. If the leaves are good, if they're not like, you know, buggy or anything. Yeah, look, see how nice they are.
So-
Look at those leaves.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Do you use the stems, or are you just talking about the leaves?
You can do the stems too. They are stiffer and it makes it more woody. So you probably don't want to. But I just kind of like pull off from here the leaves.
This has been like heaven on earth here.
Really?
It's like the Lord blessed it just because they brought the community together and everybody's worked together, and the sun has shined when it needs to, and clouds come up when it needs to be watered. But yeah, we have to keep an eye on it and keep it watered, but everything flourishes here. It's been great. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we see little Betty, who probably eats everything out of her grow box because she needs it. I mean, she really needs it. And I watch people who come and harvest lettuce during, you know, the spring, and I know they're eating it. And that pleases me when I know that people are coming into the garden, harvesting for their own personal use, and that it's getting used.
We found other things that were needful in the garden, like an outhouse. We called it an outhouse, but it's a lovely bathroom. And laundry facilities. We have people down the street that didn't have, that were living in trailers. But it was like, yeah, come and use the laundry. Why go up the street and pay money to do your laundry? That's dumb. And
So that had to be an expense.
that was a huge expense
But
because my husband calls it the Taj Mahal.
That's a good name.
I know,
So-
because I really want things to look nice.
We decided that we wanted to put in more grow boxes. The advantage with grow boxes, you can involve more people. And if you have a grow box, you have a defined area where a gardener can grow something. And that has some distinct advantages when you're talking to someone and they want to garden in the area. You can say, yeah, here's a grow box. This can be
Available, 'cause
yours.
We finished a few more grow
you do
boxes.
what you
We
want.
have availability for 25 families. And sometimes I get discouraged about, like, how do I pay for all of that with 25? But then I think, how can I personally take care of 25 families? Todd and I, we can't. And so my kids, Todd retired, so my kids helped pitch in to finish up some projects. But now we're dry. You know, we're done, but we're at a point, almost, we've paid for things and things are good, but we need to get somebody to come build that pavilion, and hopefully we can get a big project going and people doing it. We have people that help us, and those guys need to be paid, like a few people, our gardener and Todd Ballard, our builder. And then we have other expenses, the soil, the mulch, the seeds, the electricity, we don't have a water expense because we have a well. So that's nice, but it does require electricity to pump the well.
Yeah.
So just the expenses for the machines, and there's just expenses to run a big garden.
There are things that all of us are learning we can share with each other. And that is happening. I've watched that happen in the 3-4 years that we've had this together. There are people who want to share their information with us. That they just do. They want to share their successes with us. And that's uncommon. In the business world, you don't get that. Somebody puts together their patent, their secret, and they're all about making money for themselves or their investors with their board of directors. But in this environment, we're not about competing with somebody else to sell a product. We're about, let's see if we can make the garden successful and we can get the best yield out of our tomatoes or peppers. And so I've watched that as we, try to share seeds, as we try to share, what are the things that we can do to encourage plant growth. Well, what kind of fertilizer are you using? I can see that you've been really successful. What are you using? And, I had some yellow, my strawberries were yellowing. And somebody came to me and said, you need to get some iron, Todd.
Really?
Yeah, you need to get some iron on them. And I put one dose of iron in each of the 2 boxes, and it still didn't get enough. And so I did it a second time, and the strawberries greened right up. So, we share information.
Oh, one thing about the garden is that it is a no-till, because you just layer your garden, put more mulch on
The dirt in the
top.
boxes.
And then, so we don't worry, we don't till. and then there's not pesticides.
Yeah. Well, you can grow a lot of food in a single box.
Oh, yes.
And you're 4 foot by 16, so that's huge.
Yeah, it's a good sized plot.
Yeah, you don't want to crowd your vegetables, but still, you can take advantage of every
You can intense
Yes.
plant.
intense
And you
plant.
water and feed. And there are companion plants. We looked that up.
Yes.
Some plants grow better with each other than they are not adversarial to each other.
Really, they may be.
They give off different chemicals.
Ah,
Yeah.
And some
okay.
things don't grow well together.
So what kind of melons are these? Those look like good melons. Oh, they're tomatoes. Seriously? Shows how much I know.
Now this is somebody else's garden plot, but we take care of it. We'll water it before we go home. Look at this.
So that's a community thing then, if you're helping
Yes,
other people.
yes.
Oh my goodness, what is
Look at
that?
this. This is an eggplant, but look at the beautiful purple against the
Yeah.
green. It's like art, you know? The purple
Absolutely.
against the green. Look at it.
There's
Isn't
a
that just
little
gorgeous?
teenager over there. That's great.
Isn't that great? And this is just full of them. All the
Wow.
purple flowers. Makes one grateful.
Hey, is that your sitting spot?
Wait, it's one of them. That's one, but
There's
it's
another
wet. And yeah, anywhere along here.
Yeah, and you got some pretty tall boxes there, actually. I think it looks like you guys got the tallest ones.
Here you go. That good?
And people share. They're not selfish about it.